Hello, hi, I'm back again. So we've had lovely weather today, haven't we? I wanted to have a quick chat with you just to talk a little bit about what I would ordinarily do. So as an osteopath, I'm normally treating hands-on and giving exercises as a way of maintaining what we've done in the session. So these sessions are really just to try and help things keep mobile, keep things moving, keep you a bit looser and freer and maintain your current balance and strength, if not improve it a little bit. So this is good for people staying at home, as we are all doing at the moment. So with that in mind, I just wanted to talk a little bit about pacing. I understand everybody's out in the gardens, if you've got one, and people are probably doing a lot of housework they may not ordinarily do, sorting wardrobes out, cupboards, all that sort of thing. It's quite important that you plan activities with regular breaks. Often when I talk to people who have ongoing musculoskeletal problems, what they'll do is they'll feel good one day, do a whole load of activities, 4 hours of gardening, 3 hours of cleaning, and then wonder why things ache, their knees hurt, their back hurts. It's really important that over that 3 or 4 hours that you break it up and have regular breaks, stop and have a chat with your other half, have a cup of tea, and do a different activity for a few minutes, change position, and then go back to what you were doing. So again, hopefully these activities will help you with that. Hello, Roxanne. Okay, so to start today, we're going to go over the same exercise we've done last time. They will change gradually over the weeks because it takes the body about 2 weeks to improve in cardiovascular fitness, to make improvements, and about 6 weeks to start noticing muscular tone changes. So I don't want to change them too rapidly and too quickly, but I also don't want people to get bored and fed up. So there's a fine balance between keeping it interesting and keeping things moving. You will need a stable surface like the kitchen worktop. I've also got a dining room chair here, and you need some floor space, or you may need to do some of the floor ones on the bed if getting up off the floor is quite uncomfortable. I will try to remember how far I've got in repetitions. I'm failing at that slightly miserably sometimes, but you'll get the gist. And I will try to remember to do a demonstration first before we go straight into the exercises. But as I said at the start, this is the first sort of few times I've done this, so hopefully it'll get slicker and more professional as we go along. Okay, so off we go. I'm going to stand, standing nice and tall, head upright. You're going to start with just some shoulder shrugs. Hello, Lawrence. Shoulder shrugs. You're going to lift your shoulders. You're circling them backwards. So you're stretching out the stuff in the muscles in the front, getting those joints moving. Use those elbows. That'll start the movement through your rib cage and start articulating your thoracic spine, which when we're doing stuff all day and we're working in front of us, it's always pulled forward. So we're going to start on opening it out and helping you feel taller and more straight. Next, we're going to work on head circles. So you're looking to the side, just let your head come down and around and come up to the other side. So as I try to always remember to say, all these exercises are supposed to be gentle. They shouldn't cause any pain. They shouldn't cause any new symptoms. So like the movement of your head, you shouldn't be getting symptoms in the arms, and you shouldn't be getting headaches. You should just feel a bit of tightness, maybe where we're working, but no particular pain. I'd like to work within your pain-free zone. So with your head movements, if you find looking right over your shoulders pretty painful, don't go quite so far. Go to the point where you think, oh, that's a bit uncomfortable, I'm going to hold it there. And then do the same on the other side. It's often quite common to feel a bit more stiff one side than the other. So standing nice and tall, we're going to just run our hand down the side of the leg to the outside of the knee. Standing side on, you're going to be imagining you're stood between two sheets of glass, so you're staying upright and not allowing your body to drop forward to do the movement. Okay, so nice and tall, just getting the thoracic spine moving, get those ribs moving and the muscles warmed up. Next one, we're going to stand in the middle of a snow globe. You are the teddy bear, Santa Claus, whoever, stood in the middle, and you've got paint all over your fingertips. We're going to cover the whole of the inside of the snow globe with paint. So for some people, this full range of movement may be somewhat uncomfortable, and you may find you can't do the movement above 90 degrees. If that's the case, do your range of movement to what you can comfortably do, and what you may find over a period of time is that slowly increases and you can comfortably get that movement. You can do both sides. So again, if that's uncomfortable above your shoulder height, then keep your arm below shoulder height, but you're really reaching behind you, getting that thoracic cage, the ribs and the spine moving. I'm just going to warm things up, have a couple of steps walking on the spot. Now we're going to move on to strength training. So again, these exercises are not highly demanding, but I am keen on improving or maintaining upper body strength. So we're going to do some press ups against the worktop. Depending on how fit or strong or confident you are, depends on how far away you're going to stand from the worktop. So you can stand up close and do your press ups, and that's a bit less effort, a bit easier to start with. If you're feeling quite comfortable and strong, take a few steps back and you're just lowering your chest to the worktop. Sorry, it's not a dry cough, I've just swallowed funny. Okay, so you'll be aiming to do 10 of those. I think I've done about 6. So you're just going to finish off, do 4 more. 2, 3, 4. As you get stronger and fitter, hopefully you're doing these every few days, you build up to sort of 10 to 15 press-ups if possible. Okay, so the next thing we need to have to hand is our chair. So a nice dining room chair, something supportive. Don't do this off your sofa, ideally. So sitting nice and tall, we're going to do an easier version of a squat. So again, it's about that element of using those muscles, but it's not too demanding that you feel uncomfortable, unbalanced, or struggling a bit towards the end. So if possible, get your hands up and out of the way. If you do need to use your hands to push off, because some people it's still an effort, then just have a glancing touch to do the exercise. If you feel comfortable and confident, have your hands crossed over your chest so you're not relying on your hands to stand up. So when you stand, you're going to clench your bottom and hold your lower abs momentarily and then sit back down. So again, we're aiming for 10 to 20. I'm going to do 10. So as I stand tall, tight bottom, lower abs. I always think the lower abs are the kind of the bikini muscles that you use when you put your bikini on and step onto the beach. Straight away you suck your tummy in. But it should be enough that you can still breathe, a little bit of tension. If you do it from the side, so you can see what I'm doing. So I am sitting down onto the chair and standing back up. Now you should feel this in your bottom a little bit and your thighs, so through the muscles in the thigh, because you're really making them work. And the faster you go, the easier it is, because it's not too demanding on the body, but you want to have a reasonable tempo where you sit and then stand. So that was about 10. This time we're going to do another leg exercise, but using the worktop. So you're going to think of this as your balance bar. You can stand facing it or stand facing away. In this instance I'm going to do side on because I think it's a bit unclear to see when I'm facing away. So you're going to take your foot out to the side but behind you. So I don't want this, because this is working the front of the thigh or the side further forward onto the thigh. I want you working your bottom. So the movement needs to be out and to the back. Your upper body, you need to be stood tall, not doing this. If you're doing that, you're then working muscles in the other side. So we're going to aim to do 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change sides. So same again, bringing your foot out to the back and your heel is leading. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll feel that a bit in your bottom as you're lifting your leg. 8, 9, 10. Okay, just shake that all out a little bit. Right, so we're going to move to the floor. So I'll have to move my camera a little bit. Hopefully it won't miss everything. So lying face down, arms and legs out. So arms out in front of you, legs out in front of you. Move. So as you're lying out, you're lifting opposite arm to opposite leg. And it's called Superman. If that's too much, lifting your legs with your arms, because you may feel that in your low back, just move your arms. Which, to be honest, you can probably only see me moving my arms anyway. So again, because it's strength, we're aiming for 10 each side. So I think I've done 5. 10. So they work from your low back to your shoulders, and then we're going to do another one lying down. This might be better on the bed if you are struggling to get up and off the floor. But I want your leg out straight, and you're just going to, I meant to show you this the other day, if you need to, have your other leg bent, because that just allows your pelvis to sit neutrally. If you're comfortable and you don't particularly get any back problems, then you may quite like having your leg out straight. It just makes you work that little bit harder through your abdomen, your tummy and your pelvic muscles. So if you've got your leg out straight, that just means you really need to make sure you're engaging your lower abdominal muscles. If you struggle a bit with that, have your leg bent. Again, so you're lifting your leg in a straight line. Again, so another easier, slightly easier version of this is to let your foot touch the floor and rest, and then lift. If you want to make it that bit more challenging, don't let your foot touch the floor. So because it's a strength exercise, we're still going for 10. As you make progress, you may find you want to do 15 or 20 if you're doing this in your own time on another day. So I'm going to change legs. This time I'm going to keep this leg bent, because that just keeps my low back in contact with the floor and relies less on me holding my lower abs tight. I think that's 8, 9, 10. So same position, but this time both knees bent up. You're going to lift your hips up off the floor, tightening through your bottom and holding your lower abs. So this is a bit of a balance and a strength exercise. When you've done, you're going to hold it for a couple of breaths and then let your low back curl down so your pelvis hits the floor last. Because what that does, it just makes sure all the muscles engage and disengage in a consecutive order. So this time when you lift up, tight bottom, roll your back up, hold your pose, couple of breaths, unravel, and then back up, hold your abs, tight bum, and unravel. Okay, so we're going to move on to some stretches, which these definitely should not cause you any pain. You shouldn't even feel like you're doing any particular hard workout. They feel quite nice on your back and your limbs that we've just been working on. So we're going to do a knee hug, just bringing your knees up to your chest, This is a very nice stretch if you get a little bit of backache that's not caused by anything other than a bit of musculoskeletal, a bit of muscle pain, a bit of muscle discomfort. It's a nice stretch. You should feel it in your back, maybe a little bit in your bottom, but should not cause you any other pain. From that position, bring your feet back down, let your knees drop to the side, and that just allows the low back to stretch out, gets those muscles at a slightly different angle. And come back up to the middle. All these stretches you want to hold for about 15 to 25 seconds. Sometimes people do just quite a nice lie there like this. It just allows everything to relax, allows the brain to realise you're not putting anything under extra stress. If you feel it's slightly uncomfortable, there's lots of adaptations. Please let me know if you need to know more adaptations. I'm quite happy to take a bit of time or contact people directly if they want to direct message me, and I can go through some more adaptations for them. So we're going to go onto the chair. Just going to bring my camera up with me. So because we've worked a lot through the so I'm just going to have a quick drink. A very warm room, especially when the sun's been on it all day. So sitting nice and tall, opposite ankle onto knee, and you're just going to take your knee across to your opposite shoulder and have a stretch. You should feel this in your buttock into the side of the thigh. And you'll hold that for 15 to 25 seconds and change sides. Again, so stretching through the buttock into the side of the thigh. It shouldn't be particularly painful. Should be quite a nice stretch. So this time we're going to work the hip flexors. These are very important because if you're finding yourself sitting more, doing a lot of computer work on Facebook more than you ordinarily would be, watching the news on the internet or TV, and you're in a sitting position, these muscles get strong and tight. Ordinarily what they're doing is bringing your knee to your chest or your chest to your knee. So you want to keep them mobile and nicely stretched. If you don't like being on the floor, this is one way to stretch those muscles. So you put your shin on the chair, take a bit of a step forward, and then bring your hips forward, and you should feel stretched down the front of the thigh. That's quite a nice way if getting on off the floor is uncomfortable or you don't like weight on your knee. And you should not feel it anywhere else. If you're feeling it in your back, bring your leg further forward and let your body come forward a little bit. Okay, so that's 15-25 seconds. I'll show you on the floor. If you're happy getting on and off the floor, use a pillow. You're going to put your knee on the pillow and just do like a lunge, a sustained lunge. So you're just holding that stretch through the front of your thigh. Again, you're holding that for 15-25 seconds. As I've said already, none of these exercises should be particularly painful. You may feel a little bit after doing the strength training exercises that working on those concentrated muscle groups, so shoulders, upper arms, chest, hips, you may find you are aware you've worked those areas, but it shouldn't be painful. But it's quite important that we do work hips and pelvis and balance, especially in older people. When you get to sort of your late 40s, 50s, 60s and on, strength, muscle tone and balance just drop off a cliff edge and just get worse and worse. I've noticed hitting 40, that is exactly what's happened to me. I have to work harder to maintain my strength and cardiovascular fitness. So this is what this class is to do, is just to try and encourage and maintain some of that fitness you will have already had from being generally active, and now you're being limited to activity. So hopefully you'll get some benefit from this. So the last area I'm going to look at is balance. Oh, I was going to do a chest stretch as well. Sorry, this was talking about sitting and doing work in front of you. So chest stretch, put your hands on your bottom and bring your elbows to meet behind you if you can. So they won't meet, but bring them towards each other. What you should feel is a stretch the front of the chest. If that's comfortable and you want a bit more challenge, link your hands together behind you so you're sort of thrusting your chest forward I suppose, really. Okay, so lastly, so we've done mobility, strength and stretching. Some balance exercise you could do is whilst you're cleaning your teeth, waiting for the kettle to boil, when you've got those dead minutes during the day where you're not really doing very much, you're just waiting for something to happen, computer to load up, is have a supportive surface, back of the chair if it's necessary. So use the back of the chair, bathroom sink, worktop. Use this as a fingertip support if necessary, so you can put your hand on there and then stand on one leg. You have got your leg more or less locked out. Rest your toes on the floor, and that will be a bit of a challenge for some people. If you feel you can do more than that, then keep your fingers there but lift your foot up. If you feel you can do more than that, then take your hands off occasionally and just see where you're at and how long you can do that for without needing to readjust. This is very good exercise to work neurological system, get the balance, challenge. Make sure that you have your hips level when you do this. Try not to do this movement. Keep your hips level so that, again, it's working the hip muscles. This can be quite a challenge. It can be quite hard standing on one leg. Change legs. Again, rest your toe if necessary. Hand on the chair if that's easy. Bring your knee up. Rest on the chair if you need to. If you find that easy, take your hand off. You may find you have to keep checking every few seconds. That's fine, you'll get better. And if you're doing this while cleaning teeth, so 2 minutes on both sides, so 1 minute each side, and you keep rechecking, over a period of a couple of weeks, you'll find your balance improves dramatically if you're doing that twice a day for 2 minutes each time. So, as I've said, none of these exercises should be painful. They're not really rehabilitation exercises in themselves without some knowledge of what injury or operation or anything you've had. I would need to know, but these exercises are quite good for maintaining your current situation and maybe improving you ever so slightly in balance, strength and muscle tone. Okay, so I will be back Tuesday, 5 o'clock. I will have adapted some of the exercises and changed them a little bit to move on, because what I'm going to try to do is do that every week, adjust and adapt the exercise a little bit, make it a bit more interesting and challenge your body a little bit. Give me some feedback if you're enjoying it, if you want a bit slower, you want some more detail on why I'm doing this, what I'm doing, please let me know. If you've enjoyed it, please like my page, and if you think this is going to be of benefit to any family members or friends that you think could do with helping with their balance and mobility, please feel free to tag them on any of my posts. Thank you very much. Take care.